Hello, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you're listening from. Good morning if you're listening from the African subcontinent. Today, as usual, I'm here from Adelaide, bringing you news from various institutions that we work with on updates on what's happening at the moment, the transition from offline to online, support systems available to current students, and the pathway for any students that are thinking of taking on a new course, whether they are onshore, interstate, in other cities outside of Adelaide, or overseas. And today, I would like to thank Mr. Manmeet Chabra from Salford College. Salford College was established in 2009 in Adelaide, and over the years, they've also established a campus in Sydney. They are very well known for their courses in hospitality and commercial cookery. I would like to hand over to Manmeet. Manmeet, good afternoon. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Ashish.
Tell us a little bit about Salford College.
It's a pleasure, Ashish. I take a lot of pride in working at Salford College. As my dear friend Ashish has mentioned briefly about the college, we started in 2009, which means we are in the 11th year of operation. And over the last 10 odd years, we have graduated more than 2,000 students in different courses. Yes, our flagship course is Commercial Cookery, leading to Hospitality Management, with a further articulation pathway into bachelor's and master's program with one of the most reputed colleges in Australia, the ICHM. We'll talk about it later maybe, but yes, apart from cookery and hospitality, we also provide courses in other streams for students with different interests like business and management, and also project management, which is a very recent launch. Apart from that, basic what you need to study in Australia is English language, and we are one of the very few VET providers, vocational providers, which has an in-house English course offered for you. So our general English program, which can be enrolled for anywhere from as little as 5 weeks to the whole year, provides ample support to students who come from subcontinent and the Asian regions or even Latin American regions to have a good language support as a pathway into our vocational courses. And we have also offered English as a parallel course to students who are already studying cookery or leadership so that they continue to improve their language skills. Myself, Manmeet Chabra, I've been working with Salford for more than 4 years now. And I've known Ashish for the last 4 years since I started working with Salford. And Ashish, you have been a great help and a great guide about how to, get a foothold in the industry. And you have really shown how to handle the careers for students who want to study in Australia. It's always been a pleasure working hand in hand with Boomerang.
Thank you very much, Manmeet. So, just in summary, over 2,000 graduates since establishment, courses in hospitality, commercial cookery, which is a specialty of Salford College. They've got a commercial kitchen in one of the well-renowned hotels in Adelaide. Other courses relating to business management, project management, leadership and management as well. Articulation with one of the best hotel management schools in Australia, which is the International College of Hotel Management. Specialist English school to help any students that are studying any other courses so that they can improve their English while they're studying. And by the time they graduate, they are ready for a career, and including the communication skills. That is very important for a good career in any industry. So thanks for that, Manmeet. Now, obviously, the most important thing about this time, the trying times we're in, is the students and the college's transition from offline to online. It's been a big move, both for the college as well as the students, as to how they've coped it. So just wanted to get your feedback on how the transition has been from a college's perspective, as well as from a student's perspective, whether they're, what were their concerns, and now we are ready to move offline. So we almost have an idea of how the experience was. So if you could give us a summary of that, please.
Sure, Ashish. Well, what to say for the last 4 months, our life, I mean, worldwide actually, the global pandemic of coronavirus has actually shaken up the whole world across economies, the first world, the second world, and the third worlds. Everybody, the rich and the poor, everybody has been affected in some or the other way, if not health-wise, at least economically, has been affected every single person. Yes, so the Australian economy also got impacted. The Australian education sector got impacted, and definitely the wet market and Salford College eventually got impacted. And we were there to respond proactively to handle the global pandemic. Of course, we were well guided by all the government machineries who were releasing information on a real-time basis, and which helped us respond to the contingency and maintain the students' current work study pathway here. Uh, our first step was way back in January. On 30th of January is where we have our first response recorded here, where we started contacting all the students overseas to see who is stuck during the Christmas term break. And an email was sent out to all the students that if you are sick, please do not come to the college, and inform us and seek medical assistance so that it doesn't spread. That was a time when uh, the coronavirus was still in a very, very nascent stage in mainland Australia here. Chronologically moving, it was 16th of March where all the staff got together to prepare an expected lockdown. There were enough indications coming from various sources that there could be a possible city, state, and a nation lockdown internationally also. And some of the actions which I can quote you right now, which were approved from that meeting. Staff IT equipment and internet requirements for working from home was established and was made available. All the classes were put on immediate term break for 3 weeks from 23rd March till 12th of April. Fortunately, a term break was approaching around the Easter break, and that term break was just added by 1 more week to make it a 3-week term break. And that 3-week timeline was used by the trainers and the training coordination team to develop an online system for classroom delivery. The virtual classroom was created using Microsoft Teams software, and then the classes were supposed to begin online from 13th of April. That was immediately after the Easter break. And all the students were definitely informed via email that there will be a term break, so they can relax, they can be safe wherever they are. In case they hear from the government authorities to stay at home, they were all easy to manage there. Then later, the management decided that the protocol on the daily online classes sessions, they were identified. All the students were emailed about the information that the Commonwealth government announcements, and that the Salford College will move to online delivery model straight away after the Easter break. Alrighty, and the lot of our staff, we have campus in Sydney also, as Ashish mentioned a while ago. So the admin staff were there busy both in Adelaide and Sydney campus to make phone calls to all the students to check for the welfare and online capability check. An email was also sent out, a survey email was sent out to all the students to understand their capabilities to come online for this study. The staff was eventually trained on how to manage Teams, Microsoft Teams, and the trainer how to guide. Everything was distributed and collated. And then the training staff especially was asked to start working from home so that they get used to the whole idea of working from home. They get a feel of how is it to work from home, though the classes wouldn't start for the next 15 days, but still the staff started working from home. And with the exception of one staff member who was retained in the main campus for any kind of student inquiries, and then the office landline phones were redirected to a handheld mobile, which the receptionist was given to working from home. Okay?
Yeah.
Most importantly, Ashish, and to everybody who's listening, uh, sending emails to 500 odd students wasn't easy. And as the nature of emails is, they get lost in 20 emails which we receive every day, or sometimes they end in your spam or your junk box. But it was immediately identified the best way and the most effective way to keep communicating with the student was to make Salford community announcements on our Facebook page. All the students were urged to follow us on our Facebook, and the Facebook posts went on live from there on to keep them updated about daily or weekly changes about the classroom delivery or any other regulations being announced from there on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time. So out of a lot of students, 215 students, we have a record that they responded to us that they are ready for online study.
Yep.
They have all the equipments to take it to the virtual classroom.
So was it now that most of the online now we are almost coming back to the classes? So how did the students take it? That's like, did they take it comfortably? What was their feedback in regards to going online?
Yeah, see, honestly, Ashish, students realized that it is not a local issue with Salford or Adelaide or even Australia. They were quick, they're adults, they were quick to understand it's a global pandemic.
Yep.
And the response was, it was unprecedented times, and required unprecedented responses. It was very heartening to see the students take it very nicely. They understood that. The most challenging part for us was to handle the cookery students who were in the middle of an industrial placement somewhere or in the middle of doing the practical sessions. So I must give due credit to the training coordinator who really ran a schedule day and night, sat and made a new schedule. So all the cookery students, the practicals were suspended and the theory classes were organized as and when the classes resumed online. And theory classes continued for some time till about middle of May for about 4 to 5 weeks. And then once the announcements started coming from the government and the social distancing were relaxed, the lockdown was gone. And that's where students were brought back to the kitchen practicals in a phased and slow manner, maintaining improved hygiene conditions in the kitchen and social distancing. Even the breakout areas, the chairs and the desk were spread out to actually conform to the new norm. And till now, till about next week, we'll have all the batches, which we have about 12, we'll be back to the kitchen gradually. So next week will be the last of the batches coming back to the kitchen practicals. Also, what we did for especially English students who were studying English, especially at the lower levels, at the pre-intermediate or at the elementary levels, they were only given a 3-week term break around the Easter, and then they were immediately brought back for a classroom training. Fortunately for us, the batch size was small enough to organize a classroom for them with the proper social distancing. And that's exactly what students with limited knowledge of language needed. And online wouldn't work for them, But students at a higher level of English at upper intermediate will continue, and still now they're continuing with an online delivery model. The leadership students, the business students are still continuing for online. And as per our plan to bring them back offline, by end of this month, we should have everybody back offline again in a phased and a controlled manner.
Thank you for that, Manmeet. So there we were with a bit of an introduction about Salford College, some of the courses that they offer, and mostly speaking about how the college prepared for offline to online transition, how they communicated with the students, and how they are now prepared for the future when the restrictions are lifted and we're back to all offline classes, normal classes. And we'll come back to you soon with some of the courses, the intakes, the entry requirements, and the application process for courses at Salford College soon. See you soon in our next video. Thank you, Manmeet, for your time.
Sure. Thanks, Ashish. Thank you so much.